Hello everyone, hope you're having a great Saturday. I am painting a sunflower. I needed a mock-up for something, so I had to get it done. So I thought, well, I will just come live with you on here and get it done. Taking some things down here that won't stay. Parchment paper and wax paper do not hold paint. I mean, not paint, but tape to hold it down. But I try anyway. I keep trying. Okay, so we are going to paint this wooden sunflower, and I'm going to be painting another one, but I'm going to be painting it on fabric next Saturday, but it's going to be on the Southern Adornments Decor page, and that's Tamara Bennett's public page, Southern Adornments Decor. And that'll be at 2 o'clock Central Time. And so that's on the 15th, the day after Valentine's Day. My chair won't be still here. Anyway, so I'll be painting one a little bit smaller on an apron fabric. So that'll be not today, but the next Saturday. Hi, Miss Elaine. Let me get everybody pulled up over here so I can see comments. So we're going to work on this. And I did go ahead and put just a base coat of white on it. Anytime I'm going to use yellow, I like to do a white undercoat. Just helps that yellow pop through and don't have to put quite as many coats on it. Let's see if I can make sure I can get comments. So say hello as you come on. And there's Laura. Okay, alrighty. So now I am seeing comments over there. Seeing names. So I'll try to keep up with those. No promises, but I do try to go back and read everybody's if I missed you. So we're going to start out with cadmium. I have the hardest time saying that. No, actually, it's not cadmium. It's primary yellow. I grabbed it instead, so which is fine. It's easier to say anyway, primary yellow, Deco Art. And I am Pam Savage. If you're new to my page, be sure and say first time viewer or just newbie so that I can say hello. A lot of times I will do Happy Mail, and the way I get my Happy Mail names is I go to the last, if I'm going to do Happy Mail, I'll go to the previous video that I did live, and everybody that comments, you just say hi or just say here or anything, your name will go on the wheel to spin it and see if you get some Happy Mail. So that's not every time I do a live. Hi Rosie, hello Elaine. But when I do the Happy Mail drawings, that's how I get my names. I'll go to the last video that I did. Sometimes I'll go to the last two, but usually just the last one that I did, and I'll put the names in that way. And then we'll spin the wheel for some Happy Mail. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and bring you down. I'm going to see if we can get this done in under 2 hours. I am a slow painter, but I have fun painting. So if you're fast, you'll have to watch the replay and just speed through some things if you want to. But we're going to go ahead and get this coat of yellow on here. And what I do, the last coat, undercoat that I put on there, and sometimes the last coat before I do my top coat, because it'll probably going to take 2 coats of yellow. But I take either a piece of wax paper, parchment paper, or just a piece of a grocery sack that doesn't have any writing on it. You don't want the ink from the print to come off on your piece. So I just take it, and I'm going to go ahead and bring it down. And just rub it on there really good, because anytime you put moisture to wood for the first coat, it's going to raise that wood grain, and it might be a little rough, a little fuzzy. So if you'll just rub that on there. Now it's all smooth. And that's all it takes instead of sandpaper. And then you've got a smooth surface to work with. All right, this is a little bit bigger than what the phone camera is. I could back you up a little bit. Okay, I can either back you up and you won't be as close to see what I'm doing, or I can leave it close so you can see the strokes, and I'll do my best to keep it in the camera. But I'm going to use my 1.5 inch wide flat brush. I love these for base coating. Get them at Walmart. I guess they still sell them. I haven't bought any in a long time. And I'm not going to mind if I get over in the center. And I'm not going to be careful with the edges because I'm going to go over with a marker with the edges. So I'm not going to just purposely try to get it all over it, but I'm not going to care if I do. That's a pretty bright color. Love it. This is great when you're doing teacher things for school primary colors. What are y'all doing that you're able to watch today on a Saturday? I didn't have to go to the hospital today with my brother. He has his other surgery on his leg Monday, so I've been trying to get some things done today because I know I'll be out of pocket all day Monday and Tuesday. So I thought, well, I better get some done now. Now this is really covering, since I've got that white under, it's covering really well, but I will probably, we'll look and see how it does when it dries as to whether or not we need a second coat. So don't forget, next Saturday, the 15th, I will be on Tamara Bennett's public page, Southern Adornments Decor. And if you just put in Southern Adornments, ADOORNMENTS, it will come up for you. And that's at 2 o'clock Central Standard Time. She's going to be away on business trip, so several of us are filling in for her to keep her page busy. See how fast it is with that brush? Now, I have used this one for probably about 3 years, and the handle's starting to peel a little bit just from moisture that's been on it, but I'm telling you, they are great brushes. Come two to a package. Now, I don't know how much they are. Now, I haven't bought any in several years because when I bought the last time, I bought like 12 packages maybe. I like them that much, and sometimes I give them as Happy Meal. We finally have some sunshine today. We have not had any sunshine all week. But I hear we're supposed to get rain and possibly a little bit of snow mixture towards the end of next week. But it is Texas. You never know what to expect. It could be summer in the morning and freezing rain at night. You just never know. Okay, I think that's got it good enough for a second coat. Second coat always goes on a little easier, a little better. Get a little more paint. My nose is itching. Does that mean somebody's coming to see me? If your ear is itching, I think it means somebody's talking about you, whether good or bad. But if your nose is itching, I think it's supposed to mean that somebody's coming to see you. So I don't know, but my nose is itching. Now we'll start defining these petals here in a minute when we do some shading on them. I have one that's twice this size, but it was so big that I would have to move the phone back and get a little far away, so I decided to just do this size. This blank is from Tamara Bennett, again, Tamara Bennett, and it's on shopdoorhangers.com. She's got a lot of cute blanks and templates that you can purchase. I've painted several of hers, and I just love the wood. It's MDF, and you can get them etched with the design in it or just plain. Okay, and I think that's got good coverage now. So let's give that one a good dry. Hi, Roxy. You're babysitting your granddaughter. Whoops, let me get you back over here. I lost you there. I did, Roxy. I replied to you and said to send me a private message in Messenger. But if that's the one that you're talking about, just the one with the birds, anyway, I will reply to you with the information on it. Yes, ma'am. Love keeping them grandbabies, don't we? So much fun. Get it off my hands before I get it everywhere. And it's not going to matter if it's not completely dry with, well, yes, because we've got to do some dry brushing on it. So it does need to be very dry. I take that back. Take it back. You may hear some construction going on. One of our neighbors across the street is having his kitchen remodeled. So they've had a lot of saws and things going. I don't think you can hear it in here. I can hear it, but I don't think you can. Looks like a sunshine with a starburst in the middle. My brother's been in the hospital for 2 weeks now. It'll be 2 weeks Monday, actually. But his days are all getting mixed up. He has his surgery this Monday. So I talked to him this morning, and he said, man, I don't like this not being able to eat. And I said, well, why aren't you eating? He said, well, I'm not supposed to eat right before surgery. And I said, well, you've got 2 days until your surgery. No, sis, it's tomorrow. And I said, no, today is Saturday, and you have your surgery on Monday. I said, oh man, my days are so mixed up. He said, I gotta go. I said, are you okay? He said, yeah, I'm gonna order breakfast. So he was gonna make up for lost time on getting him a meal ordered. All right, I got a little paint down here. I'm just gonna take an emery board. These are great for sanding down in areas that are so hard you can't get your regular sander in there, or even almost a piece of sandpaper. It's sometimes hard to get in some of these spots. Okay, so I think we're good on that. Okay, let me get this paint off my finger. And we're going to do some dry brushing with white. Just plain white. Yeah, he's had a rough time of it. Hi, Miss Pam. How's your weather where you are? It's beautiful here today. Okay, so I'm taking white and then a dry. It's a makeup brush from Dollar Tree. It's Wet n Wild. They're great, great, great for highlighting, for dry brushing. And we're just going to go down in the center of each one of these petals. So I'm going to load it, no water. I'm going to really smoosh it down in there. But then I'm going to get it off on a paper towel. I'm going to wipe most of it off. And we're just going to go right down the center. Just to give some little highlights there. A little more off. Okay, so I'm just doing back and forth. You can also go up and down, whichever you want to do, whatever works best for you. Main thing is just to get some highlight going in there. Some of that paint off. Kind of just got it all over me. And that white, after it dries, fades in a lot. So you might want to go back with a second coat. And the secret is to just keep your brush moving. I've got a little bit too much on that one, so I'm going to put some water on my finger. And just pat it a little bit with my towel. A little hair in it. Okay, and just keep going over them till you get the highlight that you want. Now this would make a pretty daisy also. Same thing on that one. I had too much on my brush. I need to move to another spot on my paper towel. Okay, so I'm just going to smoosh it in there with my finger. Blot it off with the towel. Almost there. Back over a couple of these that dried out a little dark. Okay, now I'm going to get a little bit of that yellow and just kind of tone a couple of these down. Okay, so that's going in the water. Okay, let me see if this is deep ochre. Let's see if it's gonna be dark enough to do some shading with. I have to go to a little bit darker one. Okay, here's my pet. Do y'all see that gnat that just landed in there? Look how tiny he is. He's so cute, but so annoying. Okay, now he's stuck in that paint. And I'm gonna have to get him out because I don't want a gnat on my piece. So bear with me a second here. Come on, little guy. See him. All right, sorry. Bye, dude. He was not invited to the party, but they are getting less and less. For those of you that don't know, I bought a new ivy, and the dirt had what they call fungus gnats. They're bad about getting in ivies, teeny tiny little things, and I've been treating them, and I just made the last treatment on them to try and get rid of them. But if they're not gone within another week, they will be gone for good. Okay, I'm going to add just a tint of, let me look at that a minute, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. I was trying to decide if it was going to be dark enough with this deep ochre. Let's get some water on there. I think it'll be all right. We're going to go with it, I think. So I'm just putting it on the tip of my brush, on the toe end, which is the long end. Going all the way around. Doesn't matter if it gets in the circle, because that's going to be covered up. Get a separate brush to kind of wet it. You can also spray this with a spritz bottle, or just get your brush wet enough. But, I've just found that this is faster and easier for me. Okay, let me look at this out from under that light and see if it's going to be Yeah, I think we'll be all right. Now you may not can see it, but there's a little bitty indentation there where the center circle is, the laser cut line. Just to kind of guide you. Now this should dry a little bit darker, so we're going to see what it looks like once it dries with this color. You could do it with brown. I mean, you could go really dark with it. A little bit too much water. So just daub it off or let it dry a minute. And we may even have to do a little bit more if it, once we do the center, if it covers it up a little bit, we can come back and go over it if we need to. Ooh, I've got supper in the crock pot and it's starting to smell good. And we have lunch at church tomorrow, so I'm making double of our supper tonight. So I'll have it ready for in the morning. Right now I've just got to be kind of on call and ready, and in case my brother calls or the doctor calls. And every few minutes I'll wash my brush out and kind of start over with it, just so that paint doesn't start drying in my bristles. I've got some brushes that I've been using for over 30 years that I still love. And that's because I take care of them, so they take care of me. Okay, now let's do the petals. So we're going to do every other one because we want one in the background. So I'm going to say this petal is going to be in the forefront because it is at the top. So we're going to make this one go over, be a kind of an over-under pattern. So I'm just putting some water on it. And you want to start at the bottom here and go right up along the edge of that. All the way to the tip. Okay, and so I'm going to turn it and do the other one. Now see how that came over this one? So this one will be a background one. This one's going to be an over. So it's under, over, under, over. Add a little water to my brush because that light is drying my water out. Now we can let that dry and come back over it a little bit if we want it to be a little bit darker. Or again, you could go with the darker color. Okay, so I'm going to skip this one and do this one because it's going to be the over one. Got that brush and some paint there. Okay, so same thing all the way around. I dip my brush in the water and then I pat it off on the towel. And all around here, you're not going to see that much because we're going to have it covered up with some details. And remember, it's always going to dry a little darker. Trying to keep you in camera here. I've been terrible about that lately. Just be painting away and y'all are commenting saying, hey, we can't see what you're doing. And I'm just so busy painting that I don't even realize it. I'm going to dry that just a little bit. I had a little too much water. Still have it wet, but not like it was. And then we'll darken it a little bit. What are y'all fixing for supper? I'm fixing roast and carrots and potatoes. And rolls. Two roasts, since I'm going to take one to church tomorrow. Okay, then we'll have some details on the ends of the petal as well. We've got a couple of streets in between us, but we live very close to a main highway. Every now and then you can hear some traffic, like if a motorcycle or hot rod with a loud muffler. I just got my hand in that one. Let me fix it right quick. I smooched it. There. Okay, so let's skip one and come to this one. Now you could also make them where both petals line right in the center here, so there's not one behind it. That they're all kind of just the same. But I kind of like the dimension it gives it. I'm going to talk to my gentleman that's making my daughter, not daughter, kind of get a time frame of when the first run's going to be ready, or the prototypes are going to be ready, so I can show you. And then I'm going to sell them in a set of 3. I've already had several of you messaging me about when they're going to be available. Okay, so over, under, over, under, over. Make sure this works. So that will be under, Okay, so we've got kind of an odd amount of petals here. So over, under, over, under, over, under. So this one needs, so we'll have one that's kind of off, but that's okay. I don't think you'll even be able to tell. Now you will, because you're watching this and I'm telling you, but I think just looking at it, you wouldn't really pick up on it. If you find yourself with too much moisture, too much water, just give it a little dry. Okay, so we're going to start right here where this one separates. Dry it just a little bit. Okay, so we've got all the overs. Now we're going to go just do the top halves of the under ones. So we'll start right here. And I'm just putting water on with this same brush. So we have got to make time to get all of our details done. Okay, I'm going to wash my brush out because I had a little bit, some paint that was working its way across the brush. And you don't want that because you'll have a harsh line out here in the center. I did make sure, y'all, that I ate something before I got on here today. Yesterday, or day before, when I got on. I did not eat anything. I hadn't had breakfast or lunch yet. And man, was my stomach talking. Okay, so all of these that we're doing right now are under, so we're just doing this half right here, the top half. Just blending it in. Sorry so much swishing around on you. Hope I'm not making you dizzy. Alright, skip to the next one. Skip to the loo, my darling. Now our next steps will go a little quicker. Fish tacos. Oh, I'm not a fish person, but boy, my husband sure is. He loves anything fish. When we go to Tamara Bennett's Live in Florida next fall, that's the first thing he does, is wants to go to one of the seafood restaurants, because we do not cook fish here. I can't even handle the smell of it. So he, while I'm painting in the event, he goes and gets him some seafood. I can't even hardly go into the restaurant and sit while they're cooking it. Now, I love to fish. I could sit in a boat all day long and just fish, fish, fish. But I just don't eat it. All right, y'all, we are almost done with these petals, shading them. Now again, when I'm using that dryer, I'm not getting it super dry. I'm just, if I got too much water on it, I just dry it just enough to where I can go over it. I made a big stew a couple of days ago, so 2 or 3 days ago. So we ate on that for 2 or 3 days. I'm trying to make things that I can leave ready for David if I have to get up to the hospital quickly, because it's about 30 to 45 minutes from here, depending on the traffic. All right, let's make sure we didn't forget one. I think we're good there. I'm going to darken a couple of these here up. And again, I don't even know how much they're going to show, if it is going to show, but just in case. And then we'll put our little flower wrinkles in, is what I call them. I don't know what else to call them. Okay. Now let's look put our little petal lines in. I am being messy. All right, let me wipe that off so I'm not getting it all over me or the piece. Okay, so now I'm going to take a liner brush. That one's a little thick. Let's grab this one. Okay, so I'm going to grab my long liner brush and using that same color, that deep ochre, I'm going to water my paint down just a little bit. So I've got a little bit of water on that brush. It's been sitting there a minute. And then twirl it out. And we will go straight up and start about the same spot, and then out to the right and out to the left. Straight up, I'm reloading. And the ones on the side are a little bit shorter than that one in the middle. And you can also do little bitty hash marks. Several different ways you could do these. And I'm going to get the petals done. Everything we're going to do on them. I've got a couple more highlights here that I want to do. And then we'll work on the center. Seems a little shadowy today. I'm not sure why. Maybe that'll help. Is it showing up okay for y'all? Can you see okay? Y'all holler at me if it's not. Okay, now I'm going to go into the white. See if it's been... Same brush. And I'm going to do a couple of... Let me go ahead and dry those, though. I can see some shiny where they're not dry, and I don't want to rub my arm across them. Okay, I'm going to back y'all up just a little bit, and I want you to tell me which is better. The way I've got it now, you're super close, close to it. Or if I back you up a little bit where you can see more, y'all let me know which one is the better view. That way, backwards, I mean, if I back you up a little bit, you can see more of the flower. If I have you down close, you're a little bit closer to me, but I think you can still see that way. Okay, so I'm loaded with white, and I'm just going to go do a few strokes on the tip. Just some highlight marks. And you could also do black, and we might go over under the tops of these marks with some black. I've done it both ways. And you could do this with any liner brush or even a small round. And I'm just going with the curve of the petal. Oops. Just ran my thumb in that one. So the rest of it will just look like a highlight there. So let me fill that one back in. Normally I would have it down here by me doing it, but I'm trying to do it up here so you can see it. I love the sound of those saws running outside. I know somebody's being creative. Somebody's making something. They got their cabinet doors painted. All new countertops. So I know they're excited. Okay. Now when I use my Dippin' Dotty, I may put some little dots on these, we'll see, but we are going to put some in here. So let's go ahead and dry that just a second. So that I don't run my arm across them, because I know I will. Everybody got busy Saturdays today. I know there's so many things going on in our area. I didn't know if anybody at all would be on here. I did go up from 1920 to, I think I'm at 1937 or 38 now. So slowly but surely getting to that 2,000. As soon as I get to the 2,000, we'll do a drawing for some Happy Mail. Okay, now let's go in with our black. I want to save dots for last because they take a while to dry. So I'm going to go in with the lamp black. Now, I use all brands of paint when I'm painting. I try when I'm on camera or when I'm doing a live to use Deco Art. I love their paints, and it just makes it easier for you because most people, that's what they have. But I use Ceramcoat, and I will use some Apple Barrels, some Michaels brands. Just really depends on what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to go to a large angle brush. I think it's 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch. This is when I think it starts coming alive. Get that black in there, make those other colors pop. And that line is etched in there, so no problem knowing where that circle needs to go. Now, if you don't have an etched one, you can use a saucer plate from your kitchen, a coffee can lid, whatever you've got. And I don't care if I go over the line a little bit. Kind of fills in that line. But I don't care if it's not perfectly round. We're going to cover it up here in just a minute on the edges anyway. An angle brush is good for getting around in the edges. A flat will do just fine too, but the angle brush just tends to make it a little easier to follow the outline that you're trying to. And you would think that black would cover in one coat, but not always. Now we could have done the center first and then shaded around it. Either way will work. Okay, let's dry that and see if we need to do another coat. Looks like it's covered, but sometimes when you dry it, you can see that base color underneath. Okay, will somebody say still watching, just so I know that my internet is still working? I'm looking, it looks like mine's kind of glitching on this end, and I just want to make sure that it's still working, that you're still live, and that I can see comments. I saw Jen with Doable Designs. I love watching her paint. She has a whole totally different style than what I do, and I love it. But she just bought an old church building that she is going to convert and put her paint business in. She'll be having paint parties and things there. And I'm not sure where she lives. I'm not sure, but I know she is excited. I mean, it's got the worship auditorium, the classrooms. I'm excited for her. Told her, I said, in one of the comments, I said, well, I wish I was close enough to help you. And then she showed a video of it. She did a video, and it is huge. And I'm going, okay, maybe I'm glad I'm not close enough to help you. Okay, let's dry that one more time, and let's put some dots on it. Okay, thank you, Rosie. Okay, we're going to go in with some, let's start with brown. Let's go in with some dark chocolate. But before we do that, I'm going to put my, well, no, because I'm going to use that black here in just a minute. Sorry. Okay, so with my Dippin' Dotty, I'm just going to start making some dots. I've got my little pool here. We're going to do 3 or 4 different colors, and I'm just going to randomly go around, dipping about every 2 to 3 dots back into my paint. I don't want them real even. I think I'm going to put white dots on these. I could have gone around the inside of this black and shaded or highlighted on it, but I did not. I have to be careful, not run my hand in them. I'm notorious for doing that. So I'm putting some closer to the inside because I don't want it just to be a row. I want them to be staggered. Let's kind of stagger them a little more over here. This goes really pretty fast. And you can hear me touching the wood, but I am just barely touching it with the end of this daughter. You get a better dot if you don't just really press down hard with them. Just let them, whoops, I didn't mean to hit the wood yet, but I did. Oh well, we got a big one. Then we'll do some orange and some yellow. Okay, let me wash that one off. And let's go in with some orange. Now, if I can just dip in the right color. Now, when they really come, I think when it really starts to pop is when you put the white dots on. So I always do those last because you don't need as many of those, just a few here and there to make all the other ones pop. Some on my hand there. Anybody painting today? Am I the only one? Used to, I would not paint on Saturdays because Mr. Pam and I would always do something. But he's busy on Saturdays now, so I'm taking advantage of the time and trying to stay on track, getting things painted. What I usually do in November is if whatever I have left over from the craft show, I typically do a live sale with you guys. Went really well last year. I didn't have much left, but y'all sure did be kind to me, and I'm getting drips everywhere because I'm not watching what I'm doing. Y'all about bought me out. Okay, we're about done with the orange. I think I'll put a little bit brighter yellow than what we have on the petals. The hardest thing is knowing where to stop, because you could just keep doing it and keep doing it. Okay, that's lemon yellow. Let me get something that's not quite as in your face. Okay, the cadmium. Now see, a minute ago I said couldn't say cadmium, but it's a little bit brighter, so we're going to go with it. I think it will show up. No, I might need to go back to that lemon. Let's see. Let's use Sunny Day. I thought that's what I grabbed to begin with. I think Sunny Day will do okay. Yeah, that's the ticket. Do you ever dot your pieces that you're working on? It seems like with each color I do a little less. I haven't done a sunflower. Well, I did one on that mirror that we did the other day, but I mean a wooden one, a big one, in a while. They're one of my best sellers, always at the craft show. Every time. They usually sell before the Christmas stuff does. I'm going to try some different things this year to take. I'm going to try to do some blue jean jackets and those aprons. I sold out of the hats, so probably need to do some more hats. And you think, oh, you got all the time in the world. It's just February. But I'm telling you, when you do craft shows and events and things like that, you just blink and it's here. Okay, now let's put some white. That's what we've got. really like putting the white in. And I know it just makes all the other colors show up so much better. Okay, let's go ahead and put white on the tips of these as we go around here. We've got to know 2 or 3 of our neighbors pretty well. We will be here in this house a year in April, the first week of April, I think. Now, if you're wanting your dots to go big, small, small, smaller, 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 then don't dip back into your paint each time. But if you're wanting them to stay a little bit consistent, you can, dip back in. I'm wanting mine to be all different sizes, so I'll do 1, 2, maybe 3 before I dip back in. Now these I want to be about the same size, so I'm dipping in each time. And we've almost got the white done. It just goes by so quickly. Time flies when you're having fun. Okay, we might put some black up here with these highlights. Now, I do want to be careful and not put them right on that etched circle line because the dot will split. I know there are several that are at craft shows today. I typically just do the one a year. And that's because it's right here in our community, and it's one that I started 20-something years ago. Okay, I'm going to look at it and see if I need any more of the white somewhere. I think that should do it there. Okay, let's look at this. Let's go ahead and set these a second. So they're not going everywhere when I lift it up. Have you ever painted a sunflower? Any of you? I know Peggy Wilson has. I know I've seen some of hers. I know so many of our watchers are at work today. Okay, I just want to set them. I don't want them to get any hotter because I don't want them caving in. Okay, so my question now is, What do you think about, to be really careful, like that. All right, let's get that off right quick. Put just a little bit of black in between, I mean, at the end of these two. Now, do sunflowers really have all this on the tops of the petals and everything? No, it's just whimsical. I don't know of anything that I paint that's realistic. That's not to say that I would love to. I've just never attempted it. Okay, last one there. Okay, let's look at it and see. Okay, I think with the daughter, I'm going to go at the end of each petal with the black and put a dot, dot, dot. Just another little non-necessary detail that makes a difference. And then when I spray it with my shiny sealer, it'll bring all the colors out to make them vibrant. Okay, I'm going to take one of my old scruffy brushes. Let me find one here. Okay, one bad thing about taking really good care of your brushes is you don't have a lot of scruffy brushes because you take care of them and they don't wear out as fast. So I'm going to put a little bit of that brown on. I'm going to pounce most of it off, just right here in the center. Just to look like a few little seeds. Okay, let's hit this with the dryer just a little bit so we can lift it up. If I lift it up while they're wet, they're just gonna drip down. But I want to show you how we do the edges. You can paint them. And if you paint them, I would paint not this way. I'll show you with a dry brush. So if you're going to paint the edges, I wouldn't do them this way, long ways. I would start at the edge and go down. That way you're not getting it all over the back. So that's the way I would do that. But we're going to use a marker. Hope this one's still got some in it. I didn't think to get a new one. And these are just furniture markers that we get at Dollar Tree. They come 3 to a package. They have one black one and 2 different shades of brown. Mahogany, I think, and then walnut. I use all the colors, but on this one I'm going to use black. This one may be getting pretty low, I don't know, but, and then right down in the little edge, right in the little crease here, you may have to get a brush, but I don't think so. Nope, it's going to do it. Okay, so let me do this one. Let me show you one that's got a lot of paint on it. Okay, I'm too neat. All right, let's show you this one. Okay, see this petal right here? See all that paint up there? And that one I did a minute ago even had paint down here a little bit. So let's start at one end, and then we're just going to go all the way around. So let's do that one first. I got to look at it so I can tell where I'm doing it. Okay, there's that edge now. Look how pretty and black that is. So nice. And I'm trying to be very careful and not get some of these dots. Get my hand in them. So I'm just going to go around each one, and it makes it look, even if you've got one that was not laser cut that doesn't already have the black, here's a good one. Look at all that yellow on that one. Okay, let's go over it. And it's all gone. And that's just how quick it is. So I do them, and then I just go back to make sure that I got them all done, because it's easy to miss one. But this is so much faster, and I can usually get, 4 to 5, depending on the size of them, what they are. Door hangers, big door hangers done with one. A lot of times I will just paint my edges, but this is so much faster on a live, and they look just like you really took a lot of pain with them and painted them. Okay, I think I've already done those. Just that fast. Look how pretty those edges are. So those are from Dollar Tree. 3 to a package. They're $1.25 a package. Oh, I guess if I can bring you up there. Now I might put, I think after looking at that, I'm going to put a little bit lighter brown in the center. I'm just going to grab some khaki. You can use burlap. And put a little bit lighter brown in there also. And I already put my brush in the water. Let's see if we can get it dry enough. I bet we can. Not going to put as much as I did with that other color, but just kind of bring that center out a little bit. Okay, I think that will do it. Let me see if I can hold it up with, I think they're dry enough. Okay, so there we go. And I don't see any but one little tiny spot of white right here on the back. So we did pretty good. I'll let that sit overnight. And then I'll spray it tomorrow and put a hanger on the back of it. The way I do my hangers, let's see if I've got it. I don't know if I got it this way on this one. No, I don't. That's one of the older ones. But I can show you when I started out, I would just staple my ribbon or my jute. This is one that I was just practicing on. But I would just staple it right straight to the back. Sometimes it would come through on the front and ruin my piece. So now what I do is I have some little 1-inch wooden hearts. Let's see, I don't see anything in here. I've got everything packed away. Yes, I do. Hold on just a second. I think I do have something over here. Let me grab it. Hold, please. No, I thought I did, but I don't. Okay, so sorry. But I can grab one of the hearts and show you. And I get these off of Amazon. They come in a package of 100. And I will either stain them. Most of them I just stain. But you can paint them to match your piece. But they're the 1-inch, I believe. Yes, about almost an inch. Maybe an 1/8 of an inch off. But I will stain them pretty with that stick fast glue, any kind of super glue, whatever kind of glue you use. I will glue these on. I'll put one here and one here. Glue them onto the back and then staple your ribbon or your jute to that. And it doesn't go through. It's just thick enough that it keeps that staple from going through your piece and ruining your piece. Now once this dries, I will probably stain the back of this just to make it look more finished. But I didn't want to take the time to do that on here today. But that's it for today. There we go. We got us a quick. Hello, Funky Threads. Hello, hello. Hi, Marilyn. I think I just stopped getting comments on my, yeah, the last one I had was Rosie saying still watching. So I'm sorry, you guys, that I wasn't getting your other comments. But welcome. If you're a newbie on here, we're so glad to have you on our page, on my page. And if you don't mind, if you haven't already, hit that follow button and go in. Once you hit follow, go to the little bell or the little 3 dots beside it and click on get all notifications, and it will let you know when I'm going to go live or when I am live. It'll let you know when I'm live. and sprinkle the video out. I'm trying to get to 2,000 followers, and I'm getting so close. So close. And when I do, I'll give out some Happy Mail. We'll have some Happy Mail drawing. But there's the sunflower for today. Don't forget that next Saturday, on the 15th at 2 o'clock Central Standard Time, I will be on Tamara Bennett's Southern Adornments Decor page. And we're going to paint basically the same thing, a little bit smaller, but we're going to be putting it on an apron. So we're going to be doing fabric, and it is very different when you paint on fabric. I mean, a lot of similarities, but just a little bit different on how you have to care for it and what you have to do to prepare for it to get it all ready. And I'll be using mostly fabric paint. I may be mixing some medium with some other paint. Not sure yet. But that's it for today. Thank you so much for spending your time, a little bit of time here with me on a Saturday. I'm gonna go get groceries. I should just start ordering them and having them deliver them to me, but I don't know. I haven't gotten to that point yet. But some days I'm all excited about going, to the grocery store. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go get groceries, but this is one of those days I just don't want to get out of the house. I just don't want to leave. I just want to sit here and paint all day. But we gotta eat, so I will probably go get some groceries here in just a little bit. But thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day. Don't forget to make some time this week to paint, and you have to carve out some time sometimes just for yourself, and just to paint for, even if it's 15 or 20 minutes. You'll be surprised what it'll do for your blood pressure. It'll bring it down so fast. All right, thank you, ladies. I appreciate you so much. Bye bye.